this mold rot, if you can see it. Looks like it zoomed in or something. I'm sitting down for most of this, so I hope you can see that black hole right there. But if you can't, maybe this will help. You can see how it's black close to the hole where the water comes in because the mold's been rotting out the hole. Now we have a bigger one on the other window because the landlord just lets these get bigger and bigger and then lets the water drip into the walls. Just lets us get mold insulation like crazy. You can see the drips down from when it rains heavy. There's been so many times now we've tried to scrub it. You can kind of see that gunk from it too that I try to sand off. I don't know why it doesn't sand off. Probably some type of fungus or something attached to it now. But you can see that that is black. You can see that there's mold everywhere and it's rotted a hole out. Now the maintenance has said he's repaired it. Does that look repaired to anybody? The landlord has been notified. The maintenance has been notified for years about that leaking in. The maintenance has gone on the outside of the building, on the inside of the building, and said it's all fixed. Yet water continues to leak in from that gaping hole and the whole frame in all my rooms, no matter what I do. That is not something I can control. That is not a hole that I have control over. You can clearly see that has nothing to do with parts that I have control over. I can slide the window up and down, but I certainly cannot slide the window frame anywhere, and I can only caulk it, which I don't even have permission to do. I'd be altering the apartment against the landlord's wishes. So I reported this over and over that we're getting sick. Water's coming in. We literally have to soak up the floor all the time. We got water going in the walls, getting us sicker and sicker. There's pictures of the mold on the outside of the building. There's gaping holes on the outside of the building. Animals are crawling in the building to feed the mold and dying in it. This is beyond neglect of his property. This is now a structural risk. It's a health risk to any tenants for the last 15 years. He has illegally dumped septic tanks. He has septic leaking. You got black water. He has no light bulbs in the house. Like in the last 6 years I've lived here, there's been at least 2 years worth of no light bulbs, maybe more than that. We've had, for the first 3 years we lived here, no salt, so nothing got salted in the front of the building. Everybody had to slip and fall with their trash trying to get home. This is just neglect of his property. He didn't want to pay for that much salt, so he left no salt. He doesn't want to have to pay anybody to do the light bulbs, or he doesn't want to have to pay for a real maintenance or whatever his issue is, so he leaves no light bulbs. He doesn't want to have to pay to redo the whole building for the infestations, so he just has the tenants pay for it one at a time, and it doesn't even matter because it doesn't fix a damn thing when you have it this bad. The infestation never went away. We're still living in a studio because the landlord has not done what he's supposed to. So this whole building has to suffer. And because they're all low income, struggling to make a living, because some of us are paying $600 in electric, other people are having health issues, they're in the hospital, missing work. Because of that, it gets harder and harder to live while living with these type of health risks. Also, the structure of this building, I mean, we had a windstorm, and it literally tore down the deck, the railings holding up the deck. And you know what the landlord did? He just put a little bit of paint and some siding around it so nobody would notice that the damn thing isn't structurally sound. You got rotting where the framing is of the building on the further side where you see the giant rotted holes out on my side. The beams inside the walls and the